Do you want Shepard to return for the next Mass Effect game? Yes. Not necessarily as a playable character, though. It can be as an advisor, as a VI. No, not a VI. That would be boring. Honestly, I would prefer an old Shepard, if anything. But I don't need it, you know? If it makes it hard for BioWare to write a good story, if it makes it difficult for the Mass Effect team to make a good game and a good story, then I don't want it. You know, what's more important is if they can make a solid story with a new protagonist and new companions, that is okay. Because that is the most important thing, that they can actually pull a good game off. I don't think that they should go full on, you know, let's just only please the fan base. Let's only please the Mass Effect fans, because that is gonna blow back in their faces. Because then you get stuck at this problem that Star Wars has, right? You know, how do you move past Darth Vader? How do you move past Sidious? I mean, they backtracked so hard with Sidious as the main villain in the third film of the prequel trilogy, and it felt so out of left field. Somehow Palpatine returned. Like, what type of line is that even? Like, you can even feel in Oscar Isaac's voice when he said that line, somehow Palpatine returned. Like, that was such a painful line. And what I worry about is like, okay, if they're gonna bring Shepard back, they have to make sure it's not one of these, you know, where it feels forced, where it feels so out of left field, where it's not explained properly. They don't have a good solution for how they make it work. If it's just, oh, let's make Shepard return because fans want it, then I don't want it. I want it if they can make it work. Shepard not playable? Fuck no, my man gotta be protagonist or otherwise we riot? Nah. You know, as an OG Mass Effect fan, I played the original Mass Effect like a year after it had been out, or half a year, I think. I played Mass Effect 2 day one. I played Mass Effect 3 day one. I'm one of the OGs, man. I'm telling you, my opinion is more important. I'm just kidding. But honestly, as someone who has loved Mass Effect for so long, I care, but I only care if they can make it work in a good way. You get what I'm saying? I don't want it to be forced. But I want to get it on with the purple girl with Shepard again. Me too. Me too, man. Me too. I want to get it on with all the purple and blue girls. But I can do that as a new character as well, you know? If you can make a character that is maybe not as memorable as Shepard, but someone who's likable enough and that you want to listen to and that you want to roleplay as, then I'm fine. You know, just give me a good character. Give me a good protagonist and it's fine. Give me someone with gravitas like Shepard, you know. Give me someone who can say the wrong thing at the right time. Give me someone who can say the right thing at the wrong time. Give me the elements of what made Mass Effect 3, Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 1 so great. Give me the dialogue wheel of Paragon and Renegade. Let me power play by being either the ultimate good guy or the most asshole-ish good guy possible, or even being evil like in Baldur's Gate. Like, give me options. Give me possibilities. Give me something that I can shape the galaxy with. And I am completely fine if we don't play as Shepard. I would love Shepard to return in some capacity, to like pass the torch or whatever. But if they can do sort of what like Baldur's Gate 3 did in terms of like choice, consequence, being able to choose a dialogue option that really feels like, oh shit, this is going to make sure that something is really different later on, is going to affect our relationships really, really strongly. I want that. I want my companions to be able to leave me because they think that I'm being too mean or being too much of an asshole, or I'm being too cruel, or I'm making choices that is like ruining entire civilizations, and my companions doesn't like it, so they leave, they get the fuck out. I want that. I want true roleplay. That's what I want. Zeb Javid, you have to do it justice, otherwise it's not worth it. Yes, precisely. It has to be done justice. If you're gonna do something that's fan servicey in some way, it has to be done justice. It has to be done in good time. It has to be foreshadowed in a way, or built up in a way that feels natural, that feels like a natural progression of the story. That's why I dislike a writer who never connected with me as a protagonist of the story, especially voiced protagonist. Yeah, There's just something about Ryder that felt so disconnected from what I imagine, maybe this is wrong to say, but like a hero for me. Shepard felt like a human version of Superman, essentially. What Shepard represents, being a paragon, it's very much like being a human Superman sort of person. He has the same, or she has the same type of view of the world, trying to do the best at any point, no matter what, always trying their best. Or if you play as a renegade, it's like you're being an absolute asshole, but you have to do all the hard choices, all the horrible choices, but it's going to lead to something good because, Shepard knows best, essentially, throughout the Mass Effect trilogy. And just Ryder, I know what they were trying to do with Ryder. As far as I can tell, they tried to make a Ryder like an everyday guy or girl. They just were supposed to feel casual. They were supposed to feel like normal people. But I don't want to play as a normal person. I want to play as Superman, sort of. Like, I want to play as a person that I can imagine. Yeah, that's the ultimate hero of this franchise, right? You mean juvenile? I'm not sure if you could say juvenile, or well, you can, but I think for me, it wasn't about being juvenile. It was about Ryder feeling too much of like a normal everyday ass person. And I don't want to play that in a game about alien sci-fi laser cannons, walking giant death robots that shoot massive lasers and destroy civilizations. And I don't want to play as a regular ass human. I want to play as somebody who's like archetypically a really good person or a really bad good person. Ryder was a nepo baby. Felt shit to get promoted because my dad and had no merit to it. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, that kind of was an issue as well. It didn't feel like Ryder had earned their position really, because Shepard had already earned their position as the commander. We get an entire backstory of how Commander Shepard was at the point he or she was in the trilogy. Like, you have these entire backgrounds of how Shepard grew up, how they survived the most impossible odds. And even if we don't see it, it still builds a base, a foundation of, damn, Shepard is badass. You get from the get-go that Shepard is Shepard. You can't compare to Commander Shepard already in the first game. And you essentially just, throughout the trilogy, you just, go from feat after feat. You just make the most craziest decisions. Everything gets more crazy as the games go on. They just keep building. But when you play in Andromeda, it's like, yeah, it's definitely one of those situations where like, oh, okay, so Ryder gets their position because their dad died. It's true. It's true.